This is ASEAN Talk, a space for the youth of ASEAN and China to voice fresh ideas and valuable experience in relation to the ASEAN developments as well as ASEAN-China relations. ASEAN Talk will inform stakeholders on frontier developments and emerging trends, particularly the 5 domains of ASEAN Youth Development Index, which are education, health and well-being, employment and opportunity, participation and engagement, ASEAN awareness, values, and identity.
Hi everyone. Warm welcome to all participants and a special thanks for the organizing committee of ASEAN Talk Virtual Edition 2023. Thank you so much for investing your time with me today. My name is Vella, representing the National Institute for Youth Research, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Malaysia. So ASEAN Talk is a new approach, a platform in addressing youth voices for better development of ideas and sharing of experiences. And its objectives are, first, to promote and raise ASEAN mindshare and awareness, to make use of the power of ideas and intellectual capital, and to build a creative community to uphold new challenges for youth. As for today, I'll be focusing on the second domain of ASEAN Youth Development Index, emphasizing on health and well-being. Do you know why mental health is so important for upcoming generation? And what do we expect? As we all aware, young people around the globe have already seen the challenges because of the COVID-19 in the diverse areas. Some of the core challenges for youth caused by the pandemic so far have included disparities in educational program because of the school closures, rising youth unemployment, and also disproportionate mental and physical health challenges facing young people during government-enforced lockdowns. To ensure healthy life and promote well-being for all ages, Sustainable Development Goals 3 should be our priority in achieving its goal, its objective in 2030. Health and well-being, while young people are often thought to be in the prime of their life, suicide, communicable diseases, and non-communicable diseases remain a challenge to their development globally. Moreover, some suffer from chronic illnesses that hinder their ability to grow and develop their full potential. To grow and progress in life, young people require access to good health care and, crucially, should engage in healthier practices to guard against premature death and to ensure healthy adult life. So the Global Youth Development Index, YDI 2020, indicated that the health and well-being domain recorded the largest improvement at 4.39% from 2010 to 2018. Worldwide, 148 countries improved health and well-being out of 181 countries participated in the study. ASEAN Youth Development Index indicated that the health and well-being had the highest regional average domains score in 2015, suggesting it is the strength in the region. With the Malaysian index score remain at 0.724, which considered at the higher level and positioned in number 86 out of 181 countries participated, National Youth Index Survey IBM 21, conducted by the Institute for Youth Research Malaysia, similarly indicated that the domain mental and physical well-being score 68.91, which is considerably at the moderate level. So it shows that the continuous effort to keep up this pace should be maintained and more programs, activities are supposed to keep in place. ASEAN is also committed to undertake the whole of government and whole of society approach in ensuring youth in ASEAN are able to reach their highest potential locally, regionally, and internationally, especially through science and evidence-based policies. To this end, Malaysia is honored to join with other policymakers, researchers, and also people who done a lot of programs in making a commitment at this platform in ensuring the well-being, particularly the mental health of youth in Malaysia through. The first initiative that we have taken into consideration is the development of the Mental Health Index at the national level 2022-2023, which is currently under 85% of completion at Malaysian level. And the second one is the development of the action plan and guideline for mental health issues among youth in Malaysia for this year. Hi, everyone. As we have been, listening to some of the challenges which is faced by the youth, earlier part of my speech and also the presentation earlier. So now I just wanted to do a little bit of elaborations, but I'm going to just share few facts and figures at international level. If you notice, World Health Organization 2022, mental health conditions are increasing worldwide. So around 20% of the world's children and also adolescents have a mental health conditions, with the suicide the second leading cause of death among the youth between the age of 15 to 29 years old. So Goal 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, states that by 2030, the goal is to reduce premature mortality from non-communicable diseases, NCDs, by 1/3 through prevention and treatment, as well as increase mental health and well-being. And the National Health and Morbidity Survey by Malaysian study by 2019 by the Institute for Public Health in Malaysia identified that 1 in 3 adults have low health literacy in Malaysia. So in 2019, the study also recorded and also revealed that 2.3% of the Malaysian adults suffered from depression due to the loss of interest and enjoyment, reduced concentration, reduced self-esteem, ideas of self-harm, suicide, and disturbed sleep, and also appetite. So it was also discovered that 424,000 children had mental health problems in Malaysia. Mental health is expected to be the second most serious health problem after heart disease for Malaysians since 2019. So globally, 1 in 7 between the age of 10 to 19 years old experiences a mental disorder, accounting for 13% of the global burden of disease in this age group. I'm very sure ASEAN Youth Development Index as the indicator to make sure that, mental health problems or health and also well-being issues should be addressed appropriately to make sure that, these issues are not going to be the major issues among the youth in ASEAN countries. So the next part that I'm going to just touch a little bit, I'm not going to go into detail. It's a bit lengthy. Mental health issues, I've mentioned some. And some of the information that I would like to share here, just 1 or 2 points here, according to the police statistics in Malaysia, particularly between January 2019 to May 2021, 872 children aged between the age of 15 to 18 committed suicide. This represents 51% of the 1,708 suicide cases that occurred over the period. So this is something which is alarming for us. And I think this is something which we need a concern to make sure that, we address this. So we have the statistics. I think I'm not going to go into the next one. The next one, in addressing those things in Malaysia, I think I've spoken to some of the colleagues from ASEAN as well. Due to some cultural similarities among Malaysia and also other Southeast Asian region, I would like to just use some examples of the Malaysian youth. Under the Malaysian Youth Policy 2015 to 2035, we have identified and outlined 4 major Malaysian youth scenarios and challenges such as politics, social economy, and technology. So the social aspects is something which touch about mental and physical health falls under the social scenario. The 4 aspects of politics, I'm not going to go into the details, and economy and also technology, but the social aspects, if you look into education, social problems, spiritual religion, good values, identity and unity, volunteerism, and we see most of the domains and also the indicators are quite similar with ASEAN YDI as well. Based on the previous mental health index that I mentioned, if you look into the slides, I know it is going to be some details of it. On the left-hand side, 2015 to 2020, we have identified 12 domains under the measurement of our Malaysian Youth Index, very specific to Malaysian Youth Index, looking into indicators which is appropriate for the Malaysian youth. So I think the similar pattern should be encouraged for all the youth in ASEAN level as well. So I just wanted to show a little bit of the score over the years. The trend of Malaysian youth quality of life and well-being has been a moderate level. Despite the pandemic, there was an increase in the score for 2021 slightly. Education domains showed the highest score at the moderate level, and economy domains recorded the lowest score, which is 59.07 at less satisfactory level. I think all of you youth out there, I think we need your voices to make sure that more stronger ideas, more concrete ideas and suggestion from your side to make sure that we all as an implementer and also at the government level to use whatever that resources that we get from you guys to help you and to assist you guys to make sure that whatever the programs which has been targeted will be implemented to you guys. So the success of the entire youth development programs can be measured only if all the stakeholders play their role and also functions and utilize Malaysian Youth Index or ASEAN Youth Development Index as the input and reference in every programs and activities planning in Malaysia. So I mentioned about the National Malaysian Youth Index very specifically. Now I'm going to just narrow down very specifically to the domain, one of the domain, which out of the 6 domains, mental and physical well-being. If you look into the weightage, this is how we measure based on the weightage. The main score overall for 2021 is still under the moderate level, which is 68.91%. And we this domain, mental and physical well-being, consists of 13 indicators, which you can see, and the indicator scores are mainly based on the primary source of data that we collected and also the secondary data that we obtained from other resources as well. In the Malaysian Youth Index, mental and physical well-being is defined as the level of health literacy, mental and physical well-being, free from any diseases related to practice of risky lifestyle and behavior. So now, in addressing all those issues pertaining to youth mental health in Malaysia particularly, so we have in the past 5 years, IRIS, which is one of the research arm in Malaysia. So we have implemented several initiatives to collect empirical evidence and inputs regarding mental health issues among youth in Malaysia. The following are some of the initiatives that have been implemented. The first one is the study was conducted, this particular mental health literacy among urban youth in Malaysia. This was a study which has been conducted in 2016 as the way forward, earlier part. And then the second one is the Malaysian Youth Index, focusing on the health domain, 2015-2020. So this index covers mental health issues under the health domain. Scores involving mental health indicators showed an increasing trend every year. The third one, IRIS also conducted on RTD, the roundtable discussion that focuses on mental health issues among the younger generation in 2018. A total of 16 resolutions resulted from this RTD. And we had one RTD currently this year, last last January 2023, again on a mental health issues as well among the youth. And the next one is the technical working group. TWG is one of the main platform for us to find appropriate initiatives to improve the quality of well-being of the youth. In 2020, one of the issues discussed was related to mental health among youth. So we are going to have this very soon to make sure that we collect more information to help assist our youth. And the last one is some discussion on the mental health issues and initiative in terms of implementation by every ministry, higher education institutions, and NGOs. So I'm not going to go into detail about this, the framework for the Malaysian youth mental health. I mentioned earlier we got 12 domains. Now we have identified 6 domains. If you look into the center box there, life experiences, lifestyle, surrounding, environment, personal characteristics, social coping mechanisms. So these are some of the aspects that we consider. So these are some of the highlights why we need such a framework and also such a study to make sure that the health concern, particularly on the mental and well-being of the youth, are taken care. So as mentioned earlier, mental health issues prevention guideline for youth. So I'm not going to go into the scope. It's important for us. Mental health issues prevention guidelines is produced. So we have already completed this. So I'm very open to share with the ASEAN counterparts as well. So this is something, the Malaysian perspective, we have got our own guideline for the Malaysian youth. Besides the mental health index, we have these guidelines. The way forward, how mental health initiative benefits the youth. So first thing is early interventions to evaluate and diagnose symptoms and factors that contribute to the mental health issues. The second one, action plan, of course, time-based term, short-term, intermediate or long-term plan for action for every mental health initiative. The third one is the programs and activities. So we identify early interventions, we come up with the action plan, and then we propose a plan or programs related to multi-stakeholders, ministry, agency, NGOs, and others. And then the fourth one is monitoring. Of course, when you have programs, you need to monitor. Through National Health Mobility Survey in Malaysia, we do that. And also the Youth Mental Health Index that I mentioned earlier that we are developing at the moment. And the last one, improvise some initiative which might not in place or which already in place, but we need to improvise it. If you think that the voice of youth are important for future of ASEAN, future for our countries, our nation, I think we should able to speak up, come up with the ideas, suggestion to make sure that all our voices are listened and heard by the top management at the ASEAN level and also by our countries. I think I've done some sort of information that I gave you guys. Even though some of the informations are based on the Malaysian studies, the Malaysian approaches, the Malaysian initiative and all that, I think at the ASEAN level, this perspective should be used as a platform to make sure that, programs, implementations, and also all the related activities towards helping our youth in assisting them mentally and to make sure that the mental and well-being of the youth in the region are taken care. So thank you very much from me. Bye guys. Thank you.